Hello friends, I am in my hometown and just wrapping up the year over here, doing some work, spending some quiet days, and also I want to be in the countryside because it's more quiet with like the fireworks and everything for my dog. But this video today is about journaling. So I want to take you all along for doing some reflection and taking a moment to reconnect with myself, with my ideas, and how I want to live my life in the next couple of months, how I'm gonna approach that. Also, Bourbon is wearing a cone because he has a little thing on his foot that he shouldn't be licking right now. When we're not walking, when he's not eating, he needs to wear this for a few days.
So annoying though. So annoying.
First of all, I just wanted to talk about my approach to journaling in general and reflecting. For me, this process is very much a habit that I do on a daily basis. And for me personally, that is the most powerful thing about it because it's practical. And it's not just the process of writing that is so valuable for me because I get to process. It's also the writing that I get out of it that is invaluable to me because for me, it's a lot about documenting and capturing. And now, at the end of the year, I can look back and even just the process of like going through a journal, seeing what you wrote, it's like taking what you wrote to another level of understanding and retrospection. So the process today for me is doing a bit of that, and because I have all of the details of my life, I want to make some connections and get a bigger picture of how this year has been in general, and maybe distill some lessons, maybe understanding what are things that are holding me back, what do I want to let go. And it does take some pressure off of me that I don't see this as like I'm gonna set my New Year's resolutions, I'm gonna rebrand completely. I like the idea of a rebrand, but it's, for me, feels better in a context of like just allowing myself to change and evolve, and it doesn't have to be in January. But it's powerful to reevaluate and set new intentions and allow yourself to become a new person. This is more just another journaling session, and I want to get a bit of an overview. I think my goal is to just get a sense of feeling connected, some clarity, some direction, and some inspiration. So yesterday I wrote down 2025 intentions, and to be honest, right now that still feels a little big. I want to start with my questions because I just have a lot of questions about life in general. Maybe this is not just like questions for now, but just maybe questions I have in general in life, and maybe I can like backwards engineer exploring those questions throughout life. So maybe it's not just questions, maybe it's just quests. Like an example for me is like the quest of my home. How do I want to live? Where do I want to live? How much do I want to pay? How much do I want to save? I don't know. Honestly, I feel very open to options, but at the same time it makes it hard because I'm not quite sure what I want. So it's like I have a quest of where do I want to live? How do I want to live? Like my living situation physically. And that makes me think like, okay, what do I actually want my day to look and my life to look, and how do I want to feel in a home? And I think that's my approach because it's very tangible. So my quests. What are my quests in life? I think answering some questions or figuring even out what are our questions for our projects in life, our life areas, our quests, is that it gets us closer to actually actions that we can take, or as I said earlier, like tangible things that we can implement and that we can plan. So this is all a lot about clarity. I'm just trying to soak up every ounce of sunlight right now. This is our matcha intermission, and because I don't have a matcha whisk here, I'm doing it with chopsticks. I guess it works. And like it also, you're able to get it a little foamy. Milk. That's really good. Okay, back to journaling. I have established that I do have some priorities when it comes to certain areas of my life, like for example, my mental health, that I just know are an overarching aspect of my life that I want to pay attention to, and that just, I would say, informs a lot of how I live my life moving forward. And what I wanted to note here is that less is more. Especially this topic of mental health is so all-encompassing that I feel like it's it's enough to focus on. It's I feel like if I can take care of that this year continuously, I can already be proud of that. And yeah, so that's kind of how it looks for me. Not many intentions, just focusing on the most important things, and that is one of them. So I think having priorities, I think that is a big macro decision of like, this is what I'm focusing on, but it doesn't tell you what to actually do. And I think the baby steps is where the changes happen and where the most important changes happen. So what is the theme of my year now is because I have this big focus on my mental health. I'm not necessarily setting like project goals, but I'm setting routine goals and habit goals. And the theme is tracking. I'm aware that awareness is like the first step to making change, or I guess improving something or making something feel better if it doesn't feel good. But when I heard Ali Abdaal talk about the way tracking how much your focus time is, like how much you actually work and are focused, something clicked where I was like, damn, that is something I need to do. Because in this whole mess of me not having like planned anything in my life really, I don't know what I did this year in terms of work, and I didn't really plan much. I just sort of did what I could, and that was it. So I want to be in touch with what I'm doing, how much time I'm working, and how much time I'm actually focused. And so that inspired me to start tracking again how much I am focused, like, and what I work on. And I'm just so excited to collect that data throughout this year and learn more about myself and learn how to work better as well. I just think that's like the first step, and it's so simple, but to me it seems so impactful. And at this point the sun is really blinding me, but we're just gonna go with it. The next thing I want to be tracking more specifically is my spendings and earnings. I feel like financially I can always become more, I guess, literate, but also more in touch with things going on and more in control of how I do things, how I organize my finances, and I don't know, for example, like how I do my taxes, all of those things. So I think tracking is the first step of that. And when I used to track my money more specifically, I also just felt more empowered to like save and reach goals with it. So we're starting with tracking, and I'm not quite sure where I should do all of these things yet. So that's like a part of this process that I'll be doing these next couple of days. And then the third thing I want to be tracking is my reading. So I have been thinking of making a Goodreads account. I've heard people say that there's alternatives to Goodreads, but Goodreads just to me feels most accessible, and my friends are on there, so I think it's just gonna be where I'll start. So the things we're gonna be tracking is focus time, money, and reading, and I am very excited to do those things. And to see how these processes happen in this year. So those are kind of my goals to just track. I'm starting to get blinded by the light. But if y'all are interested in these processes, in this process of tracking my life and things in my life, let me know, because I'm still figuring out like how to do it and where to do it. And maybe I'll figure out that it's not impactful at all, but at least I tried. And at least I'm focusing on something. Because, I mean, as I said, mental health is one of my focuses. And I've just not been doing well, to the point where I don't really see the point in anything. And so having little projects like this, like little tiny baby steps of what I do in a day, what is my mission in a day. For example, having tracking be a part of that just gives me something small to work on, and yeah, like takes away from the worrying, uncertainty, and vastness of life that can feel daunting and overwhelming when you're not doing well mentally. So yeah, I've been doing this for years, and sometimes it blows my mind how I write a letter about like, as much as I have priorities, I also have aspirations. And something that I have been lacking and just missing in my life has been creating and having my creative outlets. And I definitely want to make space for that this next year for me, to express myself without the pressure and without like feeling like it's my job. Because I also just want to make stuff for fun. If you're on a similar journey of wanting to create your dream projects, a portfolio, your dream website, check out Squarespace, because they've got all the tools you need to do that. I've been hosting my online shop on Squarespace happily for a couple of years now, and love how they have all the tools I need for my website to grow with me. In the past, I've always gotten stuck with creating my dream layouts aesthetically, but with Squarespace AI, y'all, their design intelligence, you'll be able to customize your website to exactly how you want it to look, and also to the needs of your project, your business, your store, as well as get help from their AI in designing. Start your portfolio, blog, or online store today with a free trial at squarespace.com. And once ready to launch, make sure to head over to squarespace.com/Yusuf to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. I'm so excited to start new projects, and I wish you the best for yours. Okay friends, to end this video, I wanted to talk about the last kind of reflection I have been doing now, and one that I think is also so fun and empowering as well as powerful, and that is writing yourself letters. I think saying thank you and being proud of yourself for what you have lived through, what you've experienced, and what you've done is one thing, but also setting intentions and writing to future you. And then what I also love doing, which is sort of, I guess, having a vision and could be seen as like manifesting what you want or how you want to feel, right? Like the desires you have now, projecting them into the future where they would have already been done, is writing yourself letters from you in a year, like saying thank you and reflecting back on the things that you have done or achieved or seen or felt, or who you've become, in a letter to yourself. I have been doing this for years, and sometimes it blows my mind how I write a letter about like a specific situation of like how an ideal, beautiful day would look in my life, and I've actually experienced that. To me, it confirms that being hopeful about living a happy life and having dreams and visions for how you want to live is so powerful, and it's the seed. It's a seed, and we can plant it, and it's real, and we can water it. And if we keep watering it and if we keep working on it, it can grow, and it might look exactly like the flower, might look exactly how you envisioned it, or even more beautiful. And maybe it didn't grow because it didn't feel good watering it, but it's definitely always worth a shot. It's always worth dreaming and being hopeful. Another beautiful part of this process is like after writing your letters and getting in touch with your vision and like the vibe and the frequency you want to be on. I think going on Pinterest and sort of finding images that remind you of those feelings can really accompany this process and just tie everything together. So do you have some guidance for, just like your energy that you're carrying forward? Doing this has reminded me of how beautiful it is to just reflect, to journal, to think about life, and to keep being inspired to live and to create a beautiful life. I hope this was interesting and valuable and insightful and calm and comforting. Thank you so much for being here and following me this last year. I haven't really been able to open up about a lot of things because I've just been struggling with a lot of things and just try to keep going. So I hope to get better, and believe me, I am trying. So I wish you the best, and I will see you soon. Bisous.